I'm Jacob, 47M, and I need to share my story. It's been a difficult journey, and I'm still trying to process everything that's happened. My wife, Rebecca, 45F, and I have been together for 17 years, married for almost 10 of those. We have 2 kids, Emily, 14F, and Billy, 12M. When Rebecca and I first got together, she had dreams of going back to college and getting her master's degree. I was supportive of her ambitions and agreed to be the primary breadwinner while she pursued her education. It wasn't easy, but I believed in her and wanted to see her succeed. For years, I worked long hours and took on extra shifts to cover our expenses and Rebecca's tuition. It was exhausting, but I told myself it would all be worth it in the end. Our kids were young, and I missed out on a lot of time with them, but I convinced myself I was doing the right thing for our family's future. Throughout this time, I started noticing some odd behavior from Rebecca. She would sometimes be gone longer than expected, and there were occasions when I had no idea where she was. When I asked, she'd brush it off with vague explanations about study groups or running errands. I wanted to trust her, so I pushed my doubts aside and focused on work. Finally, after years of hard work and sacrifice, Rebecca completed her master's degree. I was so proud of her accomplishment and excited for what the future held for us. She quickly landed a job in her field, and I thought we were on the path to a better life for our family. However, things didn't improve as I had hoped. Rebecca seemed distant, and her new job meant she was spending even more time away from home. I tried to be understanding, knowing she was adjusting to her new career, but something felt off. Last week, I received a call from my friend, Tom, 46M, who works at the same company as Rebecca. His voice was tense as he told me, "Rob, something's not right. You need to come to the Oakwood Hotel right now." My heart started racing, and my mind went to the worst possible scenarios. I rushed to the hotel, my hands shaking as I gripped the steering wheel. When I arrived, Tom was waiting for me in the lobby. His face was grim as he led me to a room on the 3rd floor. As we approached, I heard familiar laughter coming from inside. Tom knocked on the door, and after a moment of shuffling sounds, it opened. There stood Rebecca, her hair disheveled and lipstick smudged. Behind her, I saw a man hastily buttoning his shirt. It was Mark, 41M, one of Rebecca's co-workers whom I'd met at a company party just a month ago. The world seemed to stop spinning as I stood there, staring at the scene before me. Rebecca's eyes widened in shock, and she stammered, "Jacob? What are you doing here?" I couldn't speak. I just turned and walked away, my legs feeling like lead. Tom followed me, offering words of support that I could barely hear over the ringing in my ears. Over the next few days, the truth came out in bits and pieces. Rebecca had been having an affair with Mark for months, practically since she started her new job. All those late nights at the office and weekend work events had been lies. What hurt even more was learning that Rebecca had been draining our joint accounts to fund her outings with Mark. Expensive dinners, weekend getaways, gifts, all paid for with the money I had worked so hard to earn while supporting her education. When I confronted Rebecca about the affair and the financial betrayal, her reaction shocked me. There was no remorse, no guilt on her face. She coldly told me that she had outgrown our relationship and that Mark understood her in ways I never could. I was devastated, but my main concern was for our children. How could I protect them from the fallout of their mother's selfish actions? Rebecca seemed indifferent to the impact on Emily and Billy, focusing instead on her new life with Mark. I filed for divorce immediately. The process was ugly, with Rebecca fighting for assets she hadn't contributed to and trying to limit my time with the kids. It was a battle, but in the end, I was granted primary custody of Emily and Billy. As we sorted through the wreckage of our marriage, another bombshell dropped. Mark was also married, and his wife, Lisa, 39F, worked at the same company. When she discovered the affair, their marriage imploded as well. Now, I'm living in a small apartment with my kids, trying to rebuild our lives. The financial strain is enormous, but I'm doing my best to provide stability for Emily and Billy. They're struggling to understand why their mother seems to have abandoned them for her new life. Rebecca occasionally reaches out, but her attempts to connect with the kids feel hollow and self-serving. I'm trying to navigate co-parenting with someone I no longer recognize or trust. I'm angry, hurt, and exhausted. 17 years of love and support, gone in an instant. I don't know how to move forward, but I know I have to for the sake of my children. Any advice or words of support would be greatly appreciated. How do I heal from this betrayal and help my kids through this difficult time? Update 1. It's been 3 months since my last post, and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. It's been a challenging time, but I'm starting to see glimmers of hope. First, I need to address something that came to light shortly after my original post. A few days after I shared my story, I received an anonymous email with information that turned everything upside down once again. The email contained financial records and text messages that revealed Rebecca's affair hadn't started with her new job, it had been going on for years, even while she was in school. The sender turned out to be Lisa, Mark's ex-wife, who had been doing her own investigation. This new information was like a punch to the gut. All those years I thought I was supporting Rebecca's dreams, she had been lying and cheating. The sacrifices I made, the time away from my kids, it all felt like a cruel joke. With this new evidence, I was able to renegotiate our divorce settlement. Rebecca's attempts to claim alimony were shut down, and I received a more equitable division of assets. It doesn't make up for the years of deception, but it's given me some financial breathing room. The kids are still struggling, especially now that the full extent of their mother's betrayal has come to light. Emily has become withdrawn, while Billy has been acting out at school. I've found a support group for children of divorce, and it seems to be helping them process their emotions. Surprisingly, Lisa and I have formed an unlikely friendship. We've been meeting for coffee occasionally, sharing our experiences and supporting each other through the healing process. It's nice to have someone who truly understands what I'm going through. On a more positive note, I've reconnected with an old friend from college, Jennifer, 46F. We ran into each other at a local farmer's market, and she invited me and the kids to join her family for a picnic. It was the first time in months that I saw genuine smiles on Emily and Billy's faces. Jennifer is a widow with a son, Ryan, 13M, who's around Billy's age. The boys hit it off immediately, bonding over their shared love of video games and sports. Emily was quieter, but she seemed to enjoy talking with Jennifer about books and art. We've been spending more time together as families, and it's been a breath of fresh air. Jennifer understands the complexities of single parenthood, and her gentle presence has been a calming influence on all of us. Work has been another unexpected source of positivity. My boss, understanding my situation, offered me a flexible schedule that allows me to be more present for my kids. I've even taken on a new project that's reignited my passion for my career. As for Rebecca, she and Mark are still together, but things aren't as rosy as they imagined. I've heard through mutual friends that they're struggling with the fallout from their actions. Mark's professional reputation has taken a hit, and Rebecca is finding it hard to maintain relationships with old friends who know what she did. Rebecca has made a few attempts to see the kids, but her visits are awkward and tense. Emily refuses to speak to her, and Billy's anger often boils over. I'm trying to encourage them to maintain a relationship with their mother, but I won't force it if they're not ready. I'm still angry and hurt, but I'm also starting to feel something I hadn't expected: relief. The weight of supporting someone who didn't appreciate or respect me is gone. I'm rediscovering who I am outside of that relationship, and I'm excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. There's still a long road ahead of us, but for the first time in months, I'm feeling hopeful about the future. My focus is on healing, both for myself and my children. We're taking it one day at a time, finding joy in small moments and leaning on each other for support. Thank you all again for your kindness and advice. I'll keep you updated as we continue on this journey of recovery and new beginnings. Update 2: It's been 6 months since my last update, and the twists and turns in our story continue. I want to share some significant developments that have occurred in our lives. About 2 months ago, I received a call from Rebecca that I never expected. Her voice was shaky, and she asked if we could meet in person to talk. Against my better judgment, I agreed, curious about what she had to say. When we met at a local coffee shop, I hardly recognized the woman sitting across from me. Rebecca looked tired and defeated, a far cry from the confident persona she had projected during our divorce. She took a deep breath and began to speak. Rebecca revealed that her relationship with Mark had fallen apart spectacularly. The fantasy life they had imagined crumbled under the weight of reality and guilt. Mark had become controlling and jealous, constantly accusing Rebecca of cheating on him as she had done to me. But the real bombshell came next. Rebecca confessed that she had been struggling with a gambling addiction for years, even before she started her master's program. The money she had drained from our accounts hadn't all gone to her affair; a significant portion had been lost at casinos and online betting sites. She broke down in tears, explaining how the addiction had taken over her life, leading her to make increasingly destructive decisions. The affair with Mark had been an escape, a way to feel in control when her life was spiraling. I sat there, stunned by these revelations. Part of me was angry that she had kept this hidden for so long, but another part felt a strange sense of relief. Finally, there was an explanation for the behavior that had seemed so out of character for the woman I had loved. Rebecca told me she had hit rock bottom and was now in a treatment program for her addiction. She was working with a therapist to address the underlying issues that had led to her destructive behavior. She didn't expect forgiveness but wanted me to know the truth, especially for the sake of our children. Speaking of the kids, they've been making progress in their own healing journeys. Emily has started opening up more in her therapy sessions, and Billy's behavior at school has improved significantly. A lot of this positive change, I believe, is due to the stable and supportive environment we've created at home. Jennifer and her son Ryan have become an integral part of our lives. The kids look forward to our weekly game nights and weekend outings. Emily has even started calling Jennifer for advice about girl stuff that she doesn't feel comfortable discussing with me. As for Jennifer and me, our relationship has deepened over these past months. We've been taking things slow, mindful of our children's feelings and our own past hurts. But there's a warmth and understanding between us that gives me hope for the future. After hearing Rebecca's confession, I had a lot to process. I spoke with my therapist and eventually decided to share the information with Emily and Billy, in an age-appropriate way. I felt they deserved to know the truth about their mother's struggles. Their reactions were mixed. Emily was angry at first, feeling betrayed all over again. But as we talked more, She began to understand the complexity of addiction and mental health issues. Billy was quieter, asking thoughtful questions about how we could support his mom's recovery. In a surprising turn of events, the kids expressed interest in seeing Rebecca again. We arranged a supervised visit, and while it was emotional and sometimes tense, it felt like a small step towards healing for our family. I want to be clear, Rebecca's revelations don't erase the pain of her actions. The trust that was broken may never fully be repaired. But understanding the fuller picture has allowed me to let go of some of the anger I've been carrying. As for me, I've been focusing on personal growth. I've taken up hiking, often bringing the kids and Jennifer's family along. There's something healing about being in nature, facing physical challenges, and sharing quiet moments of beauty with the people I care about. Work continues to be a positive aspect of my life. I've received a promotion that not only brings financial stability but also new challenges that keep me engaged and motivated. Looking back on the past year, it's hard to believe how much has changed. There have been moments of deep pain and surprising joy. I'm not the same person I was when I wrote that first post, and in many ways, I'm grateful for the growth this experience has forced upon me. As we move forward, I'm cautiously optimistic about the future. There will undoubtedly be more challenges ahead, but I feel better equipped to face them. My focus remains on providing a stable, loving home for my children and nurturing the new relationships in our lives. Thank you all for your continued support throughout this journey. Your words of encouragement and shared experiences have been a source of strength in my darkest moments. I'll update again if there are any significant developments in our story. Update 3: It's been a year since my last update, and I wanted to share how things have progressed for our family. Life has a way of surprising us, and the past year has been no exception. The biggest news is that Jennifer and I got married 6 months ago. It was a small, intimate ceremony with just our kids and close friends present. Emily was Jennifer's bridesmaid, and Billy and Ryan were our joint best men. Seeing our families blend so seamlessly filled my heart with joy I hadn't thought possible after everything we'd been through. Our honeymoon was a family camping trip, not very romantic in the traditional sense, but it was perfect for us. Watching the kids bond over marshmallow roasting and stargazing, I knew we had made the right decision in joining our lives together. Rebecca's recovery has been a journey with ups and downs. She's maintained her sobriety and continues to work on herself through therapy and support groups. Her relationship with the kids has slowly improved. They have regular visitations now, and while there are still moments of tension, there's also laughter and signs of healing. Emily, now 16, has blossomed into a confident young woman. She's excelling in school and has discovered a passion for photography. She's even started a small business taking portraits for local families. I see so much of her mother's drive in her, but tempered with a wisdom beyond her years. Billy, 14, has found his niche in team sports. He joined the school's soccer team and has made new friends who've been a positive influence. His anger issues have subsided, and he's learning healthy ways to express his emotions. Jennifer's son Ryan, now 15, has become like a brother to Billy and a protective friend to Emily. Watching the three of them support each other through the challenges of teenage life has been heartwarming. As for me, I've continued to grow both personally and professionally. The promotion I mentioned in my last update led to even more opportunities. I'm now in a leadership position that allows me to mentor younger employees, something I find incredibly fulfilling. Jennifer and I have started a support group for blended families in our community. We share our experiences and provide a safe space for others navigating similar challenges. It's been healing to turn our struggles into something positive that can help others. Rebecca has made significant strides in rebuilding her life. She's found a job she enjoys and has slowly begun to repair some of the relationships she damaged. While we'll never be close friends, we've reached a place of civil co-parenting that prioritizes the kids' well-being. Looking back on the past 2 years, it's hard to believe how far we've come. The pain of betrayal and loss will always be a part of our story, but it no longer defines us. We've built something new, a family bonded not just by blood, but by choice and shared experiences. There are still challenges, of course. Blending families is never without its complications. We have disagreements about parenting styles, struggle with scheduling conflicts, and sometimes deal with feelings of jealousy or insecurity. But we face these issues together, with open communication and a commitment to making our unique family work. I've learned that healing isn't linear. There are still days when the past catches up with me, when I feel angry or sad about what happened. But those days are fewer and farther between. I've found that focusing on the present and the future we're building together is the best antidote to those negative feelings. To everyone who has followed our story and offered support along the way, thank you. Your kindness and encouragement have meant more than you know. While I may not update again, please know that your words have made a real difference in our lives. Here's to new beginnings, second chances, and the families we create along the way. Whatever challenges you're facing, I hope our story gives you some hope that better days are possible.